Success in farming is all about precision and efficiency, ensuring every seed, every drop of water, every nutrient and treatment counts. Terraplex Ag is helping farmers all over Iowa and the Midwest do just that. With precision ag drone technology and support from Terraplex, you'll boost your productivity and make timely and informed decisions, all while reducing your costs and increasing your profit. It's time to revolutionize your farming. Harvest the benefits with Terraplex Ag. Visit terraplexag.com.
Hello, everyone. It is a beautiful, at least where Jordan's at, April 16th here in Northwest Iowa. I'm looking out the window at rain. We've had thunderstorms overnight, and it is going to be a muddy garbage day doing chores. But you know what? It's not going to stop me from being happy because I get to talk to this man across from me who looks like he's still at Augusta, Georgia, by the way. He must have hung around after the Masters. Mr. Jordan Bohannon coming to you live from Augusta and also the Channel Seed Studios.
One of my buddies did. He went to Augusta.
Oh my! What do you think?
Very jealous. Very jealous.
Was it his first time?
Yeah, first time. Yep.
Oh my gosh, it's a dream. We're going to be there together someday. I think your odds are better than mine of getting there, but we're going to get there together at some point.
I want to play in it. I want to be a pro in it.
Hey, never say never, right? I'll get on the bag for some amateur tournaments for you, then we'll just work our way up.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you should? We should go hard this summer, and then we should go I can't remember where they play it at, but we should go wherever they do it in the Midwest for the U.S. Open qualifier. Let's just see if we can sneak in. I'll be on your bag. I'll burn some calories, lose some weight, and we'll just make the U.S. Open.
All my my golf buddies in college, they're grinding right now. I might join them. Might have to join them.
Are you friends with or know Sam? His name is Sam. He golfed at Iowa. He's tried a few different times. He's gotten really close to qualifying for the U.S. Open. I can't remember his last name, though. Sam Moret? There it is. It's Sam Moret is his name.
No.
I'm not sure how old he is, though. He might be like 30, so he might be a little before your time.
Yeah. I knew most of the golf guys at Iowa, but I was just really close with that class of mine, just because I roomed with Benny, who was in my class, Benny Weinberg, and Alex Shockey. He made the U.S. Open this past year in Cali.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, so
sounds like we got a lot of people that we can get on for guests this summer in the off season.
Yep,
we're gonna hold the old Bohannon Rolodex open and see who we can get. And it's those people that like aren't the mega A-listers that usually have like some of the best stories and are like the best podcast guests.
That's true. Very true.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a couple myself, by the way, through my connection with former NFL players. So I'm hoping that we have a nice fruitful off season.
Fruitful.
So while we are, let's talk about that while we're talking about the Masters. What did you think? I watched probably 75% of it, at least the parts that were on TV. I was bummed about Tiger, but got to kind of come to reality with where he's at now in life. I thought it was kind of entertaining. Was hoping for a little more drama in the final round, but overall, it's the Masters. It's always fun to watch.
Is it bad? So I'm just a diehard Tiger fan. And one, damn did he look good. Two, damn does his clothing line look just superb. I will be buying every item that he puts out in that
Fingers
store.
crossed that he makes 3X.
Yep. And yeah, I didn't think he looked bad at all. He hasn't played in a golf tournament in a long time, and for him to make the cut in the Masters, you just think of the guys that didn't make the cut. People can hate on what he shot all day long, but there's a lot of good golfers that didn't make the cut, and he was one of them.
Yeah, I'm to be at 1 over after 2 rounds at Augusta when it's basically the first golf you've played pretty much all year. Obviously, he's played a few rounds here and there, practicing, warming up, rehabbing, but this is basically the first big-time golf he's played all year. To only be 1 over after 2 rounds at Augusta and make the cut. And then obviously I think some rust, his age, just not consistently playing caught up to him. But the first 2 rounds of his, gave me some hope, and maybe it's false hope because I love the guy so much, but it gave me some hope for what's to come this summer, maybe as he plays more. Obviously, he's not going to do a full schedule like he did 15 years ago, but I'm cautiously optimistic about the summer of Tiger and what might happen. And I guess we'll see, but those first 2 rounds had me a little optimistic and hopeful.
I just think he's I mean, the announcers say all the time, he is the needle. He's the reason so many golfers are who they are now. So I don't know. I love the guy. I think I don't know if we touched on this last week. He's so relatable to a lot of people. I think that's why. The humanizing factor of him has just related to a lot of people out there.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's the greatest person in the world, but it's also that humanizing factor that has allowed these super fans to come about. So I don't know. I part of me, as big as a golfer I am and love watching the sport, and obviously the Augusta or the Masters at Augusta. I really stopped watching after Tiger was done the final round because I was like, this is the reason why I watch golf is because of him.
And I think many other people are like that. I'm kind of like that. I definitely used to be like that. I've gotten more into golf. And if Scotty or Rory or someone, a big name is at the top, I'll stay tuned in a little bit. But yeah, it's if Tiger's in contention, shut all things down in life, we're watching. Yeah. If he's not and there's something else going on, I don't really care if I miss. So let's hope he has a good, what's the U.S. Open's up next, and what is it? I don't remember the schedule. Is it June when the U.S. Open is, I think, or something like that? Or is it? I don't remember now. But anyway, let's hope that he does great. I do think we've officially entered the Scotty Scheffler era. Can't argue it. He'd have probably 10 more, 15 more career wins if he could putt. He'd have 5 more wins this year alone if he was a better putter. Geez Louise. He's easily the heavy odds-on favorite for the U.S. Open. He's on a run, man. It'd be fun to be Scotty Scheffler. I wish I was good at golf like that.
PGA Championship, May 13th.
Oh, there we go. And then, yes, June is the U.S. Open then.
Yep. British Open's July. Masters, PGA, U.S., British.
Yes. I love them. I love the majors in golf so much.
And Tiger will not be playing the British.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, that was a huge deal last year when that was or was it 2 years ago now? Decided to call it quits at British. But either way, love the guy.
Stay on U.S. soil. Ludwig Oberg. I have some more thoughts. Ludwig Oberg. This might be a dude for the next 20 years. That guy was a stud. He seemed like no nerves, unflappable. This was his first massive big moment. I think that guy is someone to pay attention to in the future. He could be an absolute dog. Rory made me look horrible with my DRF sportsbook pick. Geez Louise. He played okay. I think he shot even maybe the last 2 days, but that the Masters escapes him. I can't figure it out. And we'll see. By the way, rumors. There's a rumor that Liv has offered Rory $850 million and partial ownership, apparently.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, he has been very staunch anti-Liv. And if that's true, A, I don't know how you turn that down. B, he's got so much money already. I hope he sticks to his guns and doesn't do it. Man, that's a lot of money to turn down, though, if that's true.
How do you just get paid that amount of money? Like, does it just get ACH directly into your checking account from Saudi Arabia Bank? Or do you get a check you take to, like, how does that work?
That's a great question. Oh, you're the financial guy.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine waking up the next morning and you see 850000000 hit?
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Oh my gosh.
I love my local bank here in Storm Lake, Iowa. I'd ask the Saudis if I could get that in a check and then pull up to the drive-through and say, "Here, I need to deposit. I need to make a deposit today."
Might need a bigger bank for that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, crazy. I mean, they just have monopoly money apparently over there. The Saudis do with all their oil and whatever else. But man, crazy amounts of money. I just don't want to see all the big names leave the PGA. I'm kind of an old school guy. I love the PGA.
I don't even think I've watched a single second of any live tournament. Maybe a highlight, but I don't even count that as a second. That was just a rewatch. I don't tune into it at all.
I'm with you. Did you see Jason Day's pants the first round?
Oh, well, I saw the baggy ones, and then I saw the vest that spilled.
They made him take it off.
Yeah.
Those pants reminded me of how absolutely terrible our fashion was in the 90s. When I was a kid coming up in the 90s and early 2000s, that was like we wore pants that were way too baggy. They like sagged around your ankle. They would get all ripped and gross because you'd step on them while you're walking. They'd get all wet when it was raining and snowy. Those pants reminded me of that. And I looked back at some pictures from high school. I'm like, geez, our fashion was just terrible.
Well, it might be coming back too. It's just how it works. It's like every 20 years things reverse to what they were 20 years ago.
I guess oversized clothing is starting to come back. I think skinny people can kind of pull it off. I still think they look a little ridiculous. That's one thing I will never be doing ever again is wearing oversized clothing. I'll be the last man on earth wearing tailored clothing if that's what it takes.
I also think the skinny clothing era was, what was that, 2016, 17, 18? Yeah. That didn't last long.
Nope.
The short shorts are back, but like I'm talking about like the skinny jeans. That was a thing for a couple years.
Yep.
I don't know if you bought a pair of those thunder thighs of yours.
Well, I do own a pair of, they're called Athletic Skinny from American Eagle. No free shout outs. The first time I wore them was to church. They definitely turned some heads, but they got a little more room in the thigh, and then they're tapered down by the ankle. But I feel like I pull it off. Also, I don't care what people think of me. For a large man, I'm very body positive. I wear my shirt as little as possible, and I don't care who sees me. But I do. There's a company that I want to sponsor so badly. I'm not going to say their name now, but they make a jean and they have a size called Slim Thick. Greatest jeans I've ever owned in my life, and they're so nice and stretchy. I don't have to worry about bending over and ripping a muskmelon-sized hole in the crotch. They're so nice.
I bought a pair of Travis Matthews. They had jeans. They came out like a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. Best pair of jeans I've ever bought, hands down.
Yeah, I don't think I could pull that off.
So they're actually surprisingly stretchy.
Do they make sizes for Iowa farmers though?
Yeah, well, I'm low key. I got a little cake back there. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm a little thick back here. Okay?
You didn't skip squat day. You worked on that booty.
Well, we did a lot of squats. We did a lot of running. We did a lot of ass movements. Okay, so I know I need the right jeans to, plump that baby up back there.
You remind me of the scene from Dumb and Dumber when that guy and girl walk past Harry and Lloyd, and the girl's looking real good, and he turns and goes, "Wow, would you look at that ass?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, he must work out." That's you.
It's a great movie.
Oh man! All right, that was a fun little recap of the Masters. Go Tiger! I hope you get one more major. I hope 2019 isn't the last we see, but if it is, I'm very, very glad I got to witness it. That was a glorious, glorious couple of days of my life. Those last two rounds of the 2019 Masters. Let's tell people about Terraplex Ag, shall we?
Do it.
They are a wonderful company featuring drone technology for farming. Drones are very quickly growing and becoming a massive part of today's farming and all the new age technological advances in farming. So you should check out Terraplex Ag. They've got different sizes that can hold different capacities for what you have to apply to your field, whether it's cover crop, whether it's foliar feed, if you want to go out and put some insecticide and herbicides on, they can do it all. And, you could even take a nice aerial photo of your farm if you want to frame it and put it up in your farmhouse. You can use their drone too. So you should check out Terraplex Ag. They've got all the solutions you need. Talk to them. They'll help you out. They can come to your farm, show you how to do it. Great company. So you should check out Terraplex Ag. All right, J-Bo. I got a couple stories here I want to get to with you.
Lay it on me.
Plumbers got a bad rap for many, many years with the plumber crack and everyone making fun of their butt crack showing while they're working. Butt cleavage is now a thing. The New York Post came out with an article that butt cleavage among celebrities is now a new fashion trend at all these red carpet events they go to, and women wearing low-cut jeans or dresses that show off some crack. And I think plumbers are getting a raw deal because we made fun of them for years, and now people are trying to make butt crack cool. What's the deal?
Who in the hell is doing this?
Katy Perry has done it at an event.
Oh, give me a break. Those people are satanic.
Noah Cyrus did it once.
Okay, I'll still stand by what I just said.
Didn't want to see her butt. Gosh, there was like 4 other people that have done it, and they're wearing like a dress that doesn't quite come all the way together in the back, so you pretty much see the whole crack.
Why
which is stupid. Or they're wearing a jean that'll only leave like the top 3 inches exposed. This is a bunch of garbage. Let's stop praising like gross, non-wholesome dressing in public. Leave some mystery for the bedroom.
Sure.
And B, plumbers. If this gets popular, all these celebrities need to at least give credit to plumbers for years who have been making this unintentional trend happen.
Showing any crack in public area is just an outrageous. It's outrageous, and I will not stand by it.
Same.
Quite the trend. That's only a celebrity thing that could ever.
Yep. Like
start.
when are they going to stop? Can we just dress like elegantly and beautiful and not have half the body hanging out and just look gorgeous for an event? Can we just dress normal?
Speaking of people looking gorgeous, I don't know why this is tying this in. That's just reminding me of. But I went to a Jimmy Buffett tribute concert in the Hollywood Bowl. It was just unbelievable. And it was just a bunch of celebrities there that came and talked. They're actors or some actresses, and which was kind of cool.
Was it recently?
Yeah, it was on last Thursday.
Yeah, it was like Paul McCartney and people there.
It was incredible.
I saw a video of this. There were so many celebrities.
Paul McCartney.
And you were there?
I was there, yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Kenny Chesney, Eric Church,
Bon Jovi. I saw him.
Bon Jovi, the Eagles, Sheryl Crow, Brandy Carlisle.
Wow.
Who else? Zach Brown.
I can't believe you were there.
It was incredible. The Eagles talking about elegantly and beautiful and just beautiful people. All those singers were just incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever.
So
Paul McCartney
who's the gorgeous person?
What?
You said speaking of gorgeous.
Kenny Chesney was just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, he is dreamy.
He's a gorgeous human being.
He's got that beautiful sun-kissed skin. He's just got he's got that smile and that carefree attitude.
Got the voice, dresses normal.
Yep.
That's just what I want to see in a celebrity right there.
No one can rock a pair of acid wash jeans like Kenny Chesney. Those not acid wash, more like the vintage, like super, super light blue denim.
Yep.
Nobody can do it like Kenny.
No. But it was incredible. Just beautiful people.
It's amazing that you were there. I saw someone post a video of it, and they said this will be like the craziest thing you see all day or something like that. And the camera was just panning across the screen, and it's just one heavy hitter after another. It's hilarious that you were there.
Yeah, it was it was a last minute thing. So I was planning to come out here because Carly's birthday. So I booked my trip, and then as I was getting on the plane, April 1st, they had announced the concert. It was a very it wasn't last minute. I'm sure they planned it for a long time, but last minute for them to put it up, and it got sold out obviously right away. And I sent it to my girlfriend's family. I was like, we need to go to this. This thing's like it's like an hour away from where we're at. And we decided to go, and it was awesome.
I'm very happy for you that you got to experience that. The Eagles are my dad's favorite group probably ever. He loves them, and I think him and some friends, if I remember right, I thought he told me once him and some friends saw them when they came to Hilton Coliseum back in like the 80s. Him and some buddies went and saw them, and he's the reason I love them. He turned me on to them, and I started listening to them. I mean, talk about harmonies that'll just send you to the moon. Their harmonies are beautiful, man. Those guys can sing. And I love Zach Brown Band also. Zach Brown Band in concert, if you ever have the chance, buddy, you got to go. It's unreal seeing them live.
It was interesting because Zach Brown sang one of his songs, and then every other singer, because there's so many heavy hitters there, like every singer came out and sang like one or two songs of Jimmy's.
Mm-hmm.
But the Eagles were the only one. Well, I guess Paul McCartney sang "Let It Be," but the Eagles just sang. I think they sang 4 or 5 songs, and they only sang their songs. They didn't sing any Jimmy Buffett songs. So
fantastic.
But it was incredible. My dad is like the biggest Eagles fan ever. Like that was his childhood. Like growing up, listening to them. So yeah, same boat as my dad.
Me, you, Mike, Gordy. We're gonna talk Hawks and go to an Eagles concert sometime. They
don't have much longer. They're getting old. I will tell you that they're getting old. They're getting old.
My dad will have all sorts of questions for Gordon about the Hawks and Hayden Fry and stuff.
My dad's got a lot of stories.
We got to get that guy on the pod. How about that?
I doubt he ever would. He's very low key, and yeah, he doesn't like to be in the public spotlight.
Well, that's why you do it for him.
Yeah. Wow. I can never tell a story like him. It's funny. Like I'm sure your dad's the same way, but like there's people like you meet in life that they're just like incredible. There's incredible storytellers, and there's incredible people that have experienced the story they're telling as well. And it makes you feel like you're there. Like, yeah, my dad's a very, that's how my grandpa was on my mom's side, but very, just, it feels like everything he shares about, he doesn't share a lot about his childhood, but a lot of experiences he had. It's really cool to listen to the people that can talk like that.
Yeah, right on. All right. I got another thing here I want to talk about. So this got canceled in 2014. It was a huge event that always happened in April at Iowa State. I randomly thought of it the other day because I was thinking, man, I think this usually happened in April, and I looked it up and it did. Do you remember hearing about VEISHEA, the VEISHEA festival at Iowa State?
Yeah, the week that everyone just goes absolutely psycho.
Yeah. So it was still a thing when I was in college, and I just wanted to talk about it because it was insane. I had heard some stories from like some of my friends' older brothers who went to Iowa State before us, and I don't feel like it got that chaotic when I was there, but it was still nuts. And I think I went to VEISHEA 2006, and it got canceled in 2014 because people just kept going more and more insane, and it just turned into, we gave college kids an inch, they took a mile, they got too drunk, they destroyed the city, all sorts of terrible things happened. But the year I went to VEISHEA, Nappy Roots was one of the bands performing. Me and some buddies, we went to a Nappy Roots concert. It's the worst concert I've ever been to in my life. It was just a bunch of people jumping around on stage with a mic, screaming random words and noises. It sounded terrible. It was just muffled, and it's horrible sounding. Mike Jones performed before them, though. Mike Jones was pretty sick.
Mike Jones.
Yep, it was amazing. But during the
Mike
Nappy
Jones.
I used to go to Twins games with my dad, and when Jock Jones would come up to the plate, I'd be like, Jock Jones! And all these old people around me had no idea what was happening.
Mike Jones.
So Nappy Roots, they got Aw Naw, they got Po Folks, Good. It's going to be a Good Life, No Static. They got some songs that are fun to actually bop to. But I'm pretty sure during the Nappy Roots concert, a very good friend of mine who shall remain nameless, pretty sure he got roofied.
Oh,
So we're at the concert, and some guy's like handing out. He had like a backpack that you could like put liquid with. It had like a pump on it, and you could like fill a cup. And so he goes, "Hey, take this." He gives it to my buddy, and 15 minutes later, my friend is in another realm. He's not with us. He's completely gone. I've never seen it like this before. And so Nappy Roots comes out, and we're all liquefied up with some liquid courage. And we're having a good time bouncing around, dancing. And my buddy, this girl comes up and starts grinding on him. One thing leads to another, and there's things happening that should not be happening in public. And this girl's boyfriend comes up behind my friend and starts punching my friend in the back of the head as hard as he can. My buddy doesn't even feel it because he is 3 sheets to the wind, gone. He's on cloud 9. Whatever was in this drink messed him up bad. And so I basically had to like pull him off. We had to like stumble him back to the dorms. There was a lot more things you witnessed there. It was insane, but I just wanted to shout out VEISHEA, RIP VEISHEA. It's probably for the betterment of the students that it got canceled.
Mike Jones, one of
the craziest things I've ever witnessed. What happened with my friend and these people, but that guy was handing out drinks that were definitely spiked or something, and I hope he got in trouble for it because that's not safe.
Wow. Good thing Iowa doesn't do anything like that. Good thing we're the state school.
Yeah. Oh, VEISHEA. The funny thing is VEISHEA started as like I think it was like to honor like different educational programs on campus. And then of course college kids are like, ooh, how can we turn this into a massive sloppy drunk fest that our friends will talk about for the rest of their lives? All the stupid decisions we made.
What better to honor someone than do it that way?
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, all the college kids are out doing that, and you athletes are taking care of your bodies and working out, trying to make money for the university.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
You got to have some fun every now and then.
Definitely had fun on a lot of not a lot of weekdays, weekends though.
I was friends with a football player at UNI, and I could not believe how much he would drink the night before a home game.
Of a game?
Night before a home football game, and then he'd go and just absolutely kill people on the football field. Like, some people are just built different.
I don't know about night before the game. I've never done that.
Some people are built. He was probably from a town of like 800 people in Iowa, and he had been drinking Busch Light since he was 15. And he just loved to get drunk and hit people.
Wow. I had a rule. I didn't go out. I didn't do anything, party or anything like that 2 nights before a game. Obviously, a night before a game as well, too. But a night before a game, that is crazy.
That's wild behavior. College. It's a good time, isn't it?
Well, my dad always said if there's cameras back in the 80s, there's people would not be where they are now.
Oh, man.
I tell you what. That he's friends with and that we're teammates. He's even himself. It's just a different time now. You can't get away with anything.
Dude, I'm very glad that my life has been transformed by my relationship with Jesus. I 100% am in jail. In college, if smartphones were a thing when I was in college. I did some very like regrettable, stupid things while drunk, and I'm very glad that I have changed my life and realized like that's not the key to life. The key to life is something much better and deeper than alcohol. Let's just say that.
I'm still gonna have my old fashions and drinks.
Well, now we're refined gentlemen.
Yeah, we're refined gentlemen drinking our prestigious cocktails.
Yep. Hey, before we get into some sports stuff, how was the golf out in California? I saw you were out there with Carly yesterday golfing. Is she a natural?
She's gotten a lot better, yes. Palm Desert, Palm Springs have like the best golf courses in the world, in my opinion. There's just like great course after great course across streets and right in neighborhoods and everything here. But we played at PJ West. Yeah, they have like 7 or 8 courses you can play there. There's a tournament course for Pete Dye, which is where they play the tournament, the Amex. championship as well as the Jack Nicklaus tournament course, and then there's like a bunch of mountain courses and scenic courses as well too. But I played the P-Dye last year, and then we decided to go back again this year. It's normally, like, I'm not joking you, dude, like $345 to play, like from 6:30 in the morning to like 2:30 in the afternoon, because like all the old people and everyone doesn't want to play in the afternoon because it gets hot.
Mm-hmm.
So what we normally do is we go out to these courses, these really super nice courses, and play the afternoon rates, and they're like 100 and not even $100. And we're like, this is like a steal. You get to play a professional golf course for $5. Like, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. So we did this again 2 days ago. I've played like every day the last 4 or 5 days, but
so jealous.
But the P-Dye course is like a beautiful course. It's a PJ tournament course. All excited, ready to play, and I decided to have the shanks.
Oh no.
I've had the shanks one time in my life. I've started golf when I was in 8th grade, and I've had the shanks one other time.
Oh no.
And that other time is, anyone that's ever had the shanks knows it is something you can't explain, something you can't figure out, and something you'll never ever be able to tell anyone what it feels like. But what it feels like for me right now is every time I stand over the ball, I feel like my club is facing the absolute opposite direction of where my club is.
Oh no.
And
it's so infuriating.
Yeah. And when I take the club back, I feel like I'm spinning in a 360 motion with my golf club in my hand, and it's turning opposite again as I'm coming back and down on the ball.
Oh no.
So I'm playing this beautiful golf course, and the last like 5 holes, I'm just battling my ass off. Like, I'm grinding out there. I'm like Tiger Woods in round 4 of the Masters right now. I'm just grinding. And we get paired up with a bunch of people so we can move things along to be able to hit daylight to play the last couple holes, because the 17th hole is like an island green. It's beautiful. So we all meet up on this like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and just battling my butt off. I'm like telling them, I'm like, guys, I'm playing with the shanks. I need some time. I need to like recuperate my thoughts every time I hit the ball. Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, you got it, sir. Yeah, you got it. So I'm getting positive reinforcement. Carly's laughing. And I'm dealing with this on a really nice golf course. And I hit a really great shot in 17, but on 18, I'm not joking you, there's water on the left. I duck hook one out in the water, hit another one. I pound my drive. I'm like 85 yards from the green. And I'm not joking you. First one, so I'm hitting 4 from the fairway. Shanked one right out of bounds. Second one, I duck hook one left in the water to the left of me. I think it went backwards. I literally think I spun backwards out of the water. Third one, I shank one into the bunker on the right side by the green. Hit it out of the bunker, shank it in the other bunker on the right side. I'm just a grind of a day. But yeah, right now that's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a very I can't even explain it. It's hard to explain. The club is just not going where I want to go right now.
It's a bad spot to be. It's like when a pitcher in Major League Baseball has the yips and they all of a sudden like can't make a throw, like a pickoff move to first base without sailing it into the stands or straight sideways into the dirt. It's just like a mental block they got to get over. Man, I think I think we need to get you back to Iowa, and I need to grill you a fat Pedersen steak. That's going to solve all your problems. It sucks. It really does, because I love golf so much. We played yesterday. I went on the range a little bit, and I'm getting it figured out. But yeah, anyone that's ever had the shanks, it's just, I pray. I don't wish this on anybody. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I wish I could give you a hug right now.
It's all right.
I'm just console you and hold you.
There should be a documentary though, for what I was going to get at the end of it all. There should be a documentary about 2 days ago when I played at P-Dye. I'm just saying, I deserve an award for what I went through and what I battled. I went through hell and I came out.
Who are you with?
Proud of it.
When you were golfing?
Just Carly and 2 other guys I got paired up with to finish the last few holes.
Oh, man. So then that's the worst when you're with strangers, and now and all of a sudden you play your worst with them and they think you suck.
Well, it's funny because like I'm playing. I always play from the tips, and like they're all like we're making fun of me. They're like, "Oh, you're not good enough to play back from the tips." And the first time we get paired up on 14, I just pound my drive, and like I'm like 30 yards from the green. And I hit an okay second shot. And I tapped it for par. So they're okay. You seem pretty good. And then that 15, 16, 17, 18th hole were just.
Well, at least they got to see one good hole, right?
Yeah, but
sorry.
They said the same thing after 18. They're like, "You battled, sir." Like, they patted me on the back. You battled. And I was like, "Thanks, I know."
Oh my gosh, it's the worst. I've always said this about golf too. Like, I play pickup basketball. I can miss 5 shots in a row, and it sucks, and it's maddening. And you can whiff and strike out in baseball or hit a ball hard and ground out, but there's something about golf. There is nothing more infuriating than hitting a bad golf shot. It is the worst.
And it's funny too, because like basketball, I can't remember a time like really I was in. Well, I mean, there's so-called slumps, but like you still make free throws, you can still make jump shots.
Yeah,
like it's not like a huge slump. Nothing compared to like shanking a golf ball. Like there's nothing out there in a sport that's anything close to it.
Nope. It's frustrating. Well, darn it. All right. The reason people are here is to also hear some Iowa sports talk. At some point, we'll get to it. A lot of transfer portal action happening right now in basketball, and also the spring portal open today in football. I'll touch on a couple things there, but Patrick McCaffrey and Tony Perkins have made their decisions. A couple former teammates of yours, guys that you know personally. Tony had a tweet that set Iowa Twitter fan base ablaze. It was a cesspool, like always, on social media. I don't really – old Adam, like 10 years ago, Adam Pedersen would have been a jerk. Now I'd like to say older, more wise Adam thinks, you know what? You don't really know what these guys mean by what they're saying, so just let it go. But people were mad. People were mad that Tony said it was never about the money. They thought it was a shot at Iowa. Maybe it was. I don't know. What's your thoughts about Tony and Patrick, their decisions, what Tony had to say?
I'm going to touch on Tony first, and we can talk about Patrick. Tony, love playing with the guy. He plays with a fire that few ever possess in basketball. He plays with extraordinary energy for the most part, and will give everything he's got to his players or his teammates. With that being said, I don't necessarily agree with it not being about money. I mean, let's just call a spade here.
Yeah. Missouri had 0 conference wins last year.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a school that historically has sucked for a good amount of years here, especially last year. And I mean, it's almost like reading the room here. Like, you're going there for money. You wouldn't have put your name in the transfer portal in any other year other than an NIL era in order to make money off your name, image, likeness. And go do it. Like, all power to you. Like, that's what you should do. If you want to go, look out for your family, look out for yourself, try to capitalize as most as you can in college sports, then do it. But let's be honest here. Like, it was for, I mean, I don't, unless I'm missing something that is more in depth, but even if I was missing something more in depth, he still, for the most part, is going there for money. Like, there's no ways around it. I don't know what the tweet said. I just saw a couple people talking about it. Maybe you can read it if you have it up, but I didn't know what it was said, but let's just call a spade a spade. He's going for money.
Yeah, literally all it said was, it was never about the money, and then it just said, "Go Tigers." And it had like the Missouri Tiger logo instead of the word Tigers. And then people went nuts saying, well, clearly it's about the money. You're going to a 0-win conference, like a 0 conference wins team versus a team where you're going to 100% be a starter, good core coming back, maybe can make the tournament. So I think people were just like, I think people would rather just have athletes or like famous people in other realms of the world. People try to beat around the bush too much. I think average Joes, we just want honesty from people who are in the spotlight. And so if it was about the money, I think people got mad because they'd rather just have them say, yeah, I got paid a lot of money to do this. Most college kids don't have this opportunity. That's why I did it. I think people would be like mad.
It's true. I mean, I always felt like that when I was going through Iowa. Like, as long as I'm honest 100% of the time, like, I'll never feel bad about whatever I do, whether it's on the court or off the court. And I feel like, now that I'm able to sit back, I did that, and I feel really good about what I went through. With that being said, I don't know why someone that gives 4 years to a university, why he try to burn bridges to a fan base that has, I feel like they've been really appreciative for the most part. Obviously, there's going to be assholes out there that are going to say shit, but for the most part, I mean, he's done a lot for the University of Iowa. I mean, he won a championship. Not a lot of players that came through can say that. He's 1,000-point scorer. Very few players that have come through Iowa has been about 1,000-point scorer. So he's made a name for himself in Iowa City and Eastern Iowa and all of Iowa as a whole, for a lot of Iowa fans out there that follow basketball. So when I heard that, I was kind of surprised because I don't know. I just feel like burning bridges like that is not saying he's trying to do that, but I mean that's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good luck to him. I hope he has great success, and you never want to see him, someone who, gave as much as he did at the university. You don't want to see him go have bad things happen. So I hope he has good success. Is what it is. Now we got to move on and hope that we can replace him with some better players.
Yeah. And this kind of reminded me, it's something that was really freaking cool. I don't know if everyone saw this or not, because this happened a couple of weeks ago. But when Joe Toussaint, I urge people that are listening to look at Joe Toussaint's social media and what he posted about his time in college, because he either put a jersey up of Iowa or he said something about Iowa. I thought that was super cool to go back to your roots. And, I don't want to make this a Tony hate session, because that's not what we're doing at all. I'm just being honest. That's what it feels like, what happened with what's going on. And always going to wish him the best, always going to be close friends with him. But like what Joe Toussaint did was just awesome, in my opinion. It wasn't talked about enough, because he gave thanks to Iowa, whether it was just in the form of showing that jersey or even saying it on the statement he made on social media. I thought it was really freaking cool, because that kid was, he was a bulldog. He was just a very loving teammate that you want to be around, and a guy that just fought his ass off for his teammates and decided to go a different way at Iowa. But he was, so grateful for his time at Iowa, where it led to him in his life. And, I'm always going to give credit where credit's due, because I thought that, it reminded me of what we're talking about, how special, Joe Toussaint was, because he was able to do that.
Yeah. I will never forget the Joe Toussaint razzle dazzle play. Sometimes he was so fast, and his burst would just blow by a defender sometimes and make some crazy layup. And Joey T had some moments that got me off the couch, jumping up like, holy crap, I can't believe a human can do that.
Imagine trying to guard him every single day in practice for 3 years.
That would be exhausting. I'd be a lot skinnier.
And telling, the funny thing is, so he was always on the second team. I was going against him, and the funny thing is that we do a lot of like scrimmages and practice. That's how we condition. So we do a lot of like game situations of playing for 5 minutes or playing for 6 or 7 minutes, and doing different situations like that. The funny thing is when Coach Farah would assistant coach at the time, since retired, one of the greatest coaches that ever come through Iowa for sure. But he would do this as a joking way, but also like being serious. See ya. See you later. Safe travel. Thank you. See ya. Sorry.
We keep the money happy. Sorry.
The funny thing is when Coach Farah would he like scream on the sidelines when we're playing these like half scrimmages, half games, and be like, "Pick Joe T up full court. Pick Joe T up full court. You got this, J-Bo. Pick Joe T up full court. Make it work. Make it work."
I don't want to, Coach.
Like, look around. I was like, no one here and no one in ever in existence could pick Joe Toussaint up full court from 95 feet from the opposite side of the basket.
Yeah.
That is not physically possible, Coach Farah. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're LeBron James. LeBron James is not picking up Joe Toussaint full court. I don't care what kind of condition he's in. He's not doing it. Pick the fastest guy in the world, Usain Bolt. He's not picking him up full court.
Yep.
So it was always a funny joke because he was like, what the hell am I going to do? He's going to blow right past me.
He was fast. He was so fast, man. I mean, he is so fast still. But shout out to him. Yeah, I'm glad that he had a great ending to his career when he left the Hawks. By the way, yesterday, Drew Thelwell, however you say it, was the starting guard for Morehead State. Was in Iowa City yesterday visiting the Hawks, and later this week, I think on Thursday, Cameron Hunter, a Central Arkansas guard, will visit the Hawks as well. So we'll see what happens there. A couple athletic guards. They're not great shooters, I don't think, but Iowa needs a little more depth at guard, and we definitely need to find a big. I would cry tears of joy if somehow Robbie Avila, the transfer from Indiana State, ended up as a Hawk. It'd be one of the greatest things ever. That won't happen. Probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, you're going to have to start filling me in and all this information because I don't know any recruits out there. I don't know any guys in the transfer portal that I was looking at. I don't even know who might be on the team next year other than Owen Freeman.
Yeah. We'll have Brock Harding and Josh Dix. We'll have those three for sure. And hopefully Peyton, depending on what happens in his draft stuff. So, oh my gosh, my phone's freaking out. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think Peyton's coming back. I think we talked about it last week. I can't remember, but yeah, I think he'll be back.
Yep. How about the old Caitlin Clark goes number 1 to the Indiana Fever, and then Kate Martin. I was honestly not even thinking of her in the WNBA. Maybe I should have been paying attention better. Gets drafted in the second round. That was awesome. I was so pumped for her. That was such a cool video, and just super happy for her. It's really cool to see that she'll get a team up with Megan Gustafson, by the way. Former champs, Las Vegas Aces. Would love to see her make the roster. What are your thoughts? I'm taking by the way.
Big Kate Martin fan. What's going on over here?
I took a B-reel while we're recording live. It's an app that all the teenies use, and then me.
Yeah, Carly's on that. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Oh, I should add it.
Takes photos both ways.
Yep.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know. I big Kate Martin fan. I wish the best for her because we talked on numerous occasions. She's the reason why Iowa made it to the national championship. I don't even think it's a
dog. Caitlin's dog in her.
Yeah, she was 100% the reason why they got there.
Yeah. There was a gal who's been covering women's sports for a long time, I guess. I saw someone reposted a video she took on TikTok. I saw someone reposted this on Twitter. So she was sitting near Jan Jensen and the Iowa players that were there to watch Caitlin and celebrate her. And she said that someone who works for the WNBA came up and found Kate and the Iowa girls and said, "Hey, Kate, we need to move you over to the aisle seat and move some people around, and you need to put your phone away and get ready for a reaction or something." And they were all like, "What? What's happening?" And then she gets announced as the 18th pick of the second round, and this female lady who covers female sports was saying it was just an amazing moment to be a part of because all of a sudden there was a buzz around her and Kate and with all the Iowa teammates, and she said they were all crying and so happy for Kate, who was the captain of the team, who everyone loved, and it was a really cool video to see. And she said Kate's reaction when they came up and said, "Hey, Kate, we need to move you from the seat you're in to the aisle seat so you can get ready to walk down here because your name's getting called." It was like, holy crap, what a moment that must have been for her.
I didn't know anything about that. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, to be there supporting a teammate, then you end up being on the spotlight. That's also the definition of Kate Martin too.
Yep.
Not wanting to be in the spotlight, but she is the spotlight.
Yep. And she was a freshman when I believe Megan Gustafson was a senior. So they were teammates for 1 year. They're going to be teammates again.
Yeah,
really cool.
Awesome.
Really cool
That's
stuff.
awesome. Yeah.
It felt like, and I'm probably, good grief, my fat hands are out of control. I'm knocking things over. I'm probably more nostalgic than most people on earth, but I remember like watching the Fab Five documentary and all these famous sports documentaries, and the finality of them is always like showing what happened down the road, or they got drafted and they're doing this stuff in business maybe. And I was working late on the farm last night, so I didn't get to watch the draft, but I watched all the clips happening afterwards, and like my nostalgic self, it kind of felt like almost like a documentary, like finality to it. We were seeing clips of Caitlin getting drafted number 1 and what she was saying, and then all of a sudden Kate gets drafted, and it was like really cool to kind of like think of it from that aspect, because it's been an insane 3-4 year run that they've been on and building to this. And I don't know, it kind of had me in my feels almost. I was like, oh man, the end of an era. They're getting drafted, moving on. Now it's time to get back to college and let Bluter and Jensen do their thing and rebuild and keep rocking and rolling. And I was just that's how I saw it. I saw it like almost like the ending of a documentary.
The real question is, what I really want to know, how much support is this team going to get next year?
That'll be interesting.
Because I personally might be a little Debbie Downer over here, but that might be the highest it ever is going to be for Iowa women's basketball.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be silly to think anything otherwise. I think people will still support because they're going to be good. And it sounds like they're going to be hopefully landing a couple big-time portal people, but there's no way it'll ever be what it's been, selling out arenas everywhere they go. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing. I'm cool that we got to witness it. Be a Hawkeye who completely changed the sport and potentially generations of kids to come. And it's amazing that it was a Hawkeye women's player to do it, but I think it would just be irresponsible to think that that's ever going to happen again.
I hope it does, but I mean, let's face the facts here, Caitlin. Even women's basketball as a whole, Paige Beckers maybe, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I didn't follow it much before Caitlin, obviously. Same with a lot of people. So just interesting to see where the tide goes.
Yeah, and it's kind of, like I mentioned this last episode, I feel like you and I come at it from a very different angle where, I mean, let's be honest. As a fan, I'm jealous of you guys. I want to live that life. It'd be cool to live the D1. It'd be cool to be a Hawkeye football player coming out of the tunnel while Back in Black is playing. It'd be sweet to walk out to do warm-ups as a Hawkeye basketball player in front of all these thousands of fans. And so we see it from a different angle where I think someone who didn't live that D1, and I mean, you were a professional athlete for a little while trying to make it, like we didn't live that life. And so I think we see it differently. And so I think it's understandable when someone like you maybe doesn't follow as closely because you have other aspirations and dreams that you're trying to make happen. And you've also lived the life. So it's a little less, you're less in awe of it, I guess is how I would put it, as most of us are that always wanted to have what you guys had, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. No, I mean, you said that great. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a big reason why. I mean, I'll see. Obviously, still watch men's basketball, but we talked about it, early on in the year. This is kind of the first year I feel like I was just kind of completely removed from it and didn't really feel a need to be as active as I was last year. So I don't know.
And it'll come with time. You're just gonna be a washed up Joe Schmo like me eventually.
I'll see. I haven't been back to Iowa City in 2 years. Crazy.
Well, you're for sure going to get invited back at some point when it's the anniversary of the Big Ten title team and some other stuff. And I just hope that you'll let me come ride your coattails and just be in the building.
Well, we did do a ceremony for Iowa State football game, but I end up not going actually. So.
All right. Well, all in God's timing, right?
That's what people keep telling me. That's what my dad said. My dad was this. It's weird. It's so funny how my dad and myself are so aligned. He was the same way. As soon as he got done that Rose Bowl, and that season after, he really wasn't, that heavily a part of the program. And he went to stuff here or there, especially when Hayden Fry was kind of not doing so well. He went to a bunch of the Fry Fest to see him and be around him a little longer before ultimately his health deteriorated to a spot of not being able to return from it. But it's kind of funny, like how just family members, it's kind of creepy to think, not creepy, but you live in so similar to who brought you into this world.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, well, it's a period of like decompression and getting into normal life. Where you have to get away from that because it's not a normal life to be a D1 athlete.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what I appreciate, like just living a normal life now, just enjoying the little things that I wasn't able to enjoy before.
Until this podcast goes nuclear. And then you're just going to have to do it all over again with people want to take pictures and get your autograph.
I have no problem with that. I've never had a problem with that. Like, I always thought that was a silly question. They didn't mean it in a bad way, but I'm sure they ask it to the players now, and obviously my former teammates and people that have been on the stage. Like, how do you deal with all the people that take pictures and ask for autographs? And I mean, if you're just a decent human, that's what you sign. That's not what obviously signed up for, yes, but that's what you live for, is having that impact on signing a kid's shoes or a poster. That's what you want to. That's what you grew up thinking about, and that should never ever be an issue in an athlete's mind. But there are some athletes out there that they're not the greatest role models. Yep.
Yes, sir. Want to quickly talk about our friends at DRF Sportsbook. You should do all of your gambling with them, and you should also gamble responsibly. But they're Iowa's only sports book. They're only in Iowa, so you'll get great customer service. You'll get great deals on local teams. Obviously, we're in the off season right now. We do not have any professional baseball teams, but football will be right around the corner, and you can make bets with them. You sign up for the app, DRF Sportsbook app, or if you go to whatever it is, type in DRF Sportsbook on Google. I'm being a terrible ambassador for them right now. But if you use them and use code Iowa250, you'll get some free bonus money when you start. And we love DRF, and right around the corner will be college football season. And speaking of college football, I want to end on this with you, buddy. The quote-unquote draft experts are coming out saying that Cooper DeJean is not a corner. He's going to be a safety. They're saying he's too stiff. And I just think it's hilarious that maybe he will play safety, but, man, to me, this guy's a corner. And it just seems like we go through the same thing over and over again with Hawks. People said Tristan Wirfs wasn't athletic enough, and they weren't sure how well he'd be able to play tackle in the NFL. This was with footage of him literally jumping out of a freaking swimming pool. And look at him now. He's probably he's a top 3 tackle in the league. He's going to be paid accordingly. And then you had guys who saying Tyler Linderbaum's hands are too short. He's not going to be good. 1,100 some snaps last year, gave up 0 sacks. He's a top 3 center in the league. And now they're saying Cooper DeJean's a little too stiff. I'm not sure about his speed. At what point do we stop trying to be the expert and just watch the film and understand he's going to be a stud? He's a freak athlete. He was amazing at basketball. He's fast. He just has these instincts and intangibles that the great ones have. And I don't know. Don't ever. One thing is a rule of life. Don't doubt a homegrown Iowa boy and their determination and grit, because they will almost always prove you wrong.
That is 100% well said. Iowa boys, Iowa girls, they are a different breed. I don't care who you are, where you're from. If you're from Iowa and playing in an Iowa jersey, Iowa State, Drake, you and I, you're playing for a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know. The draft is, I believe it starts this Thursday. Good luck to Cooper. He's probably going to be, I believe he will be number 27, first-round picks in the NFL draft for the Hawks. And I think he's going to do what Geno Stone, Micah Hyde, Javon Johnson, I think even Sean Constantine had a great career as a DB. And Desmond King, all the DBs before him. I just think he's the next one in line to have a great NFL career, who's going to keep making Phil Parker look like a genius. And a lot of people are overthinking it. And if we're being honest, I think it's because there's not really any white cornerbacks in the NFL. And I've heard a lot of former NFL players say this on podcasts, like basically saying NFL GMs, don't be afraid of him because he's white. He's great, and he's going to be great.
Yeah, I think he's going to dominate. I don't even think should even be a topic if he's not. I mean, the kid's special. Like he's gonna do. I mean, I would argue he's gonna do more things than any of the players you listed before him in the NFL.
Yep, I'm excited. Obviously, I would love if he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. I have hope that the Chiefs are going to use some draft capital they have to trade up and get him. And boy, oh boy, would I be a happy camper if he went to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is that what pick do they have?
Well, the Chiefs are 32, but they got rid of – so they released Mike Edwards, who's a safety, and they also released oh my gosh, our other stud, cornerback, L'Jarius Sneed, and they got some draft capital, and I just trust Brett Veach so much, the Chiefs GM. I just had this feeling we're trading up to get Cooper. Could be wrong, but we'll see. I mean, he would just be the perfect Chief in that culture in the Midwest. Just the attitude the Chiefs have, my gosh, I think he would flourish. But
right by home, too.
Oh, I know. And then we'll be hitting up his parents with a half a beef to get us some tickets for a Chiefs game and go meet him and do a pod and all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely.
That was fun. I think the offseason is going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun guests on, hopefully. I'll let you get going for your flight or whatever, but I'll hit you up with a phone call this week. Let's line up some people and have some fun stories with guests. And go Twins. Do you have a baseball team? Okay. I'm gonna say that you're a Twins fan.
I loved baseball growing up, but no, can't watch the sport. Sorry to baseball. I know it's American sport. I don't want to hear it. I just can't watch it. It's too long. It's too boring. Don't want to hear it. Can't watch it.
Go Twins. I love the Twins so much. I hope they have a great season. They're struggling right now. But I would like to welcome you back to Iowa prematurely. You'll be back here before you know it this afternoon. It's windy. It's cold.
Not this afternoon. I got a long.
Oh, you got a long trek ahead of you. All right. Well, try to drink an overpriced airport coffee for me. Enjoy the weather when you get back. It's going to be windy and cold, and you're going to wish you were in California.
Yeah, I'm leaving 90. It's going to be 95 and sunny today.
Yikes. That's too much.
What?
That's too much.
No.
I would like the cutoff to be about 82.
Give me – I would argue give me 110 and sunny every
Oh, my gosh.
Love it.
I would die.
I love it hot. Love it hot.
Man.
It's the best.
I am the reason that the cornstarch company thrives, because
I'm not going to argue that.
When the moisture and these thighs start baking down there, we need a powder. We need to powder the nether regions to survive in the heat.
Okay. I'm just saying, I'd rather have it hot than cold.
I'm with you. I'd probably suck it up for 100 degrees over 22 and 37 mile per hour wind and sleet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, soon enough, you and me are going to be doing some of these in person potentially in the good old Iowa Great Lakes region.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, safe travels back. Everyone out there, go love on our sponsors, DRF Sportsbook, Channel Seed, Terraplex Ag, and of course, find your entertainment at the Iowa Event Center. We appreciate all that they do, and we will see you next time. And in the meantime, Jordan and I are just going to make some more melons.
Every single day.